What if I tell you that all you need to do to master English is this one simple method? In this video, I'll be sharing 3 things needed to build a solid foundation on which you can continue to build up your English skills. So let's get started. Hi there, this is Erin. Statistics say that there's 1.1 billion people in the whole world learning English either as a foreign language or as their second language. And this number is likely to continue to grow because English is the most widely spoken language in the world, as you know. So we all know that in today's globalized world, it is very important to be able to communicate in English. Yet, acquiring English takes time and is not easy. Are you confused because there is so much advice out there when it comes to learning English? Or maybe you are overwhelmed because there seems to be endless words, phrases, expressions, idioms, grammar rules that you have to learn. The good news, though, is that acquiring English is not complicated. In fact, it's quite simple. I was able to build my English skills using this one simple method I call the LIP method. The first thing you need in the LIP method is listen. Our ultimate goal is to be able to communicate in English, so reading aloud is a must-do practice, as I mentioned in this video. But in order to be able to make reading aloud effective, there's one very important step that you have to take, which is input. In other words, it starts with listening. First of all, you need to have an audio source. The key here is to input native pronunciation. Reading aloud doesn't mean that you just start reading in your own way. This is crucial not because we have to become native speakers, but it helps us to expose ourselves to the way that English is spoken naturally. One of the mistakes we make as English learners is to place too much emphasis on studying English instead of practicing English. So by starting with input, we have something to model after when we practice and something that we can aim for as our goal. Once you have an audio source as an input, the next thing to do is to imitate. After you heard the audio sample, you copy and mimic what you've heard exactly the way it was said as much as possible. What you need to be careful here is not to repeat in your own way, but to copy and mimic the sample audio as close to its original as you can. Pay attention to the sounds, the intonation, the rhythm, the tune, the accent, and the melody. Try not to overthink or overanalyze, but simply reproduce what you heard as much as possible. At the same time, don't be stressed out because you cannot speak like a native speaker. Remember, our goal is not necessarily to become native speakers. However, I can tell you from my own experience that if you keep practicing English using this LIP method, pronouncing English words will become easier and you are likely to reach that native-like level, if not the native level. The last thing you need to do is to practice, 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 and practice. Practice makes perfect is a well-known saying, and it can't be more true. New skills are mastered by practicing it over and over. We probably all remembered those days when we repeated after our English teachers in English classes at school. I hate to break the news, but reading out loud after your English teacher a few times in the class is almost like you haven't done it at all. After you learn how to say it by first listening to it and then by mimicking the sample audio as close to it as possible, all there is left to do is to keep practicing. After you repeat it enough times that you pretty much memorized all the words, phrases, sentences, and possibly the whole passage, English will start coming out of your mouth more smoothly. And the muscles around your mouth and your tongue will get used to the movement required when speaking English. Watch this video as I demonstrate how to carry out this method.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
My name is Wes Davies. Welcome.
My name is Wes Davis. My name is Wes Davis. My name is Wes Davis. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes Davis. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes Davis.
Back to another video. This one.
Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another video. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes Davis. Welcome back to another video.
It's going to be very, very special.
This one is going to be, this one is going to be, this one is going to be, this one is going to be very, very special. This one is going to be very, very special. This one is going to be very, very special.
Because not only am I going to...
Now you have a better idea of what the lip method looks like. Let's go over some tips. First of all, the very important bonus tip is to repeat in chunks. The reason we repeat in chunks instead of the whole sentence is because when we repeat a long sentence, we tend to forget about what was said in the beginning of the sentence and only remember the last part of the sentence. This is because the short-term memory capacity in our brain is only able to retain 7 words max, but usually only 4 to 5 words at a time. So if the sentence is too long, we will not be able to repeat what we hear correctly. That's why we want to break them in chunks of around 5 words. Another important tip is to pause the audio source and then repeat. This is the biggest difference between shadowing and the lip method. When you are shadowing, you do not stop the audio source. In shadowing, you're kind of chasing after the audio sound as soon as you hear it and repeating after it until the very end without stopping. In this video, I'm talking more about shadowing. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and watch that video as well. But pausing is very important because when we pause and create that silence after pausing, what we heard earlier from the audio source is being echoed in our brain. This helps us to repeat and reproduce what we heard earlier as close to it as we can. With this method, it might take a long time for you to finish the whole passage, but you don't have to finish it in one setting. You can break it in parts and just do as much as you can or as much as your time allows you to do. Even just 50 minutes a day makes a big difference in the long run. The key is to be consistent. So don't overdo it, especially when you're just starting, so you don't exhaust yourself and end up quitting. Just relax and enjoy the process. Treat it as if you're learning a new song by paying attention to its sounds, rhythm, melody, intonation, tune, speed, and words. Now let's talk about the benefits you get from the lip method. First of all, your ears will get used to English sounds. So you'll be able to recognize and identify different English sounds. And because you're able to do this, now you can pick up English words in spoken language. This helps you build a solid foundation for your listening skills. You can also pronounce English words accurately and clearly. Also, because you're processing English in the order it's coming in, you will start to understand English without translating back into your own native language. At the same time, you learn to think in English. As I mentioned briefly earlier, your English will have the natural English rhythm, intonation, accent, melody, and tunes. You will also learn how to speak with connected speech naturally without having to learn how to do it. For example, wanna, gonna, or drop consonant sound at the end of the word if it's followed by another consonant sound. You will understand and be able to retain vocabulary and grammar rules without having to memorize them. And your English will sound like natives, or at least at the native-like level. You can read aloud more smoothly, and you acquire English without feeling that you're studying. English is fun to practice, so you have fun learning English. At the end, it helps you to become a confident speaker. As you can see, there are so many benefits that I could easily list 16 of them. And these are the actual results I got from using this method, especially at the beginning of my English learning journey. It might sound too simple, but it actually works. You might not feel or see the results right away, but trust me, when you keep practicing using this method, the results are promising. Before we end this video, let's recap the 3 elements in the LIP method we talked about today. The first thing is listen. You need to start with input. The second thing is imitate. Pause, copy, and repeat what you heard as close to what it was said as possible. And the last thing is practice. Practice until you can say it smoothly. Taking the first letter from each element, I call this the LIP method. I really encourage you to give this method a try. And don't forget to leave a comment and let me know how it went. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with people who might find this video helpful. By doing this, you're helping me achieve my goal of helping 10,000 people gain fluency, become a confident speaker, and enjoy learning English. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, God bless.